today we have figured out how much material we're going to use. It's going to be 15 inches in total. It's going to go from from the stringer height down. I have a total of 9 inches, so to have a little bit of clearance on the bottom of the boat, I'm going to go 6 down from stringer level, and then from stringer level I'm going to go up 9, so that would be flush with the bottom of my seat. So when I go to put the ski pole in, because I want it removable, it'll just slide in, and I'm thinking I'm going to drill probably a 3/8 hole through here, and then just have a quick pin just go through. That'll keep the pole from wanting to slide in and out. The last time I did it, I threaded, I believe it was a 1/2-13 on the bottom of the pole into its fixture, but that whole thing failed. So I think a pin going all the way through 2-inch solid stock would be ideal. It's not going to go anywhere, and if it does bend that pin while we're at the lake, it's all the way up against the back of the seat, and I can just get a cutoff wheel in there when I get home that night or whatever and cut it out, drill it out to a 1/2 inch once it's in the boat. So whatever. I just want to make sure I have at least 15 inches cleaned here. Perfect. Ooh, I wanted to put weep holes in this tube too. Okay. Can you guys even see what I'm doing, or did I point the camera just right at me like a dick? Yep, pointed right at me like a dick. Let's point you down a little bit. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, grab my die grinder with a rotofile on it, and we're going to pretty much open up these corners a little bit on just the bottom two on this side, the bottom 2 on this side. So even when this plate is fully welded, if water somehow does get in here or collects in here, as the boat is hopping around and moving, it can slosh out and just not sit in there. Standing water inside of mild steel, not great, even though it is 1/4 inch, and it would take a million years. I wouldn't say a million years. It would take a long time to rot this thing out. And by that time, it'll probably need a new floor, so perfect timing to put a new one in there. Let's bring you guys in here. So just a nice clean little kind of cone shaped conical hole right there. When all of that is welded on, like I said, I'm only welding the straights, so I will not be welding around the corners here. Just because if this top weld cracks, I don't want it to continue cracking all the way around this guy. If this top one cracks, the crack can only go to where the weld ends. So there would still be 3 other sides holding this thing together. Beautiful. Let's give this a little tap against the ground. Get any residuals out of that. Wipe off for blocks so they don't have to be perfectly accurate. I mean, let's see how close to accurate that these blocks actually are. It'd probably be beneficial for me to order some 1, 2, 3 blocks off of Amazonian, but I just haven't. Maybe like 3/10,000ths off of 1 inch. I'm not going to argue with that. This one's about 1 thou off, so half of a human hair. I'm okay with that. I can totally live with that. To me, those are some very acceptable numbers. Okay. All right, let's go get my welder turned on. Let's get some gas flowing through here. Got a nice full tank. What's our regulator set to? About 40. Drop her down to 35-ish. This isn't stainless steel. I'm not totally concerned with it. Amperage. We're dealing with 1/4 inch plate. So the rule of thumb is 1 amp per thou thickness of material. Well, I only have a 160 amp machine. We're going to leave it at 160. Which, with a little bit of finessing, we could totally make work just fine. Have some filler rod here in case my fusion tacks don't go beautifully. Dust this guy off a little bit. It's time for a new helmet. This helmet has made me lots of monies, and it's time to retire it. Also controversial, I do not weld with gloves. Unless I'm doing stick or dual shield, probably flux core. But when I'm just MIG or TIG welding, I generally don't wear gloves. That's a long story in and of itself. But if you have everything placed properly, you should never burn yourself and you should never hurt yourself. Which is why I've been doing it for years. And I've welded some hot shit. That was over here. This guy over here. So what I did over here, so I can explain what I did, I put a tack here originally, and whenever a tack cools off, it shrinks, so it pulled the inside of this guy inward, which is why I put a tack directly behind it, and it allowed it kind of to relax in that direction. This side, what I did is put a tack on the back side, and let's get the camera in here. I don't know if you can see that, the little kind of teeter that it has right in there. So what I'm going to do is now put a tack right on the front of this guy, and it should help pull it back in this direction. Everything you weld is going to warp. It's part of welding. It's just knowing how to control when and where it's going to warp is the fun part. Let's do some welding. I know I'm forgetting something, but we'll deal with that when we get there later on. There are some things that I make where I fully design them up in CAD, and I have blueprints, and I have everything that I need to know about that project. And then I have things like this where I kind of just wing it. So that's why I keep saying maybe I'm forgetting something, maybe I'm not. She'll still buff out just fine. There we go. Whew, much better. A little bit of undercut on the sides there. Not gonna hurt anything. Perfecto. This is done for now. So let's move on to our pipa. And by the power of editing. Alright, so the plan is I took one of these pucks that we cut out of our 2 3/8 hole on our 2x4. I'm going to clean it up, maybe open up the hole on the center just a little bit more, and that's going to be like a weep hole. So if water does go into the tube, which it should, or it's going to because it's underneath the seat, it can at least all drain out. some water today. Okay, so this I didn't weld too big, should still slide right through. Now I need to figure out how far down I need to be. So I know from the top of the stringer, oh, you know what, I could do this. I can do some shits. Let's turn you sideways. I can do some things. I know some things, possibly, arguably. To the top of this, which would be the top of the stringers, this is going to be pretty much flush with the stringers. I'm going to go down 6 inches. So 1 plus 2, because I can push off the bottom of this guy. So 6 minus 1, 5, minus 2, 3. So I'm going to have 3 inches down from the inside of this guy. I wonder if my 1-inch blocks over here. Oof, look at that. No, it wouldn't be 1 inch, would it? To the bottom of the, oh, it would. Perfect. Perfect. So 1-inch block under there. Slide, oh, look at that. She slides like a dream, brother. We're gonna go down. Three inches. And let's see what that does up top. I got my drawing on a receipt here, the back of a receipt, because that's how I do my shit. From the top of this, I need to go up 9 inches. So technically from here to here should be roughly 10. Oof, 9 15/16. 3 1/32. 3 1/32. Brother, I think I'm gonna tack that. Right? Right? Right. Right? Yeah, fuck it. We'll give her a tackaroonie. .4. 0.4 of a degree out. I can live with that. 2.3. 2.3. She is nice and square as possible. We'll check it again after we weld it up. Yeah. Man, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh! I'm glad I caught that only after 2 tacks. So, we put weep holes in the bottom of this thing. That's the top. That's the bottom. That's the top. That's the bottom. Whew! I was about ready to send that shit too. Man, that looks like ass. I mean, not the whole thing, just where I undercut the damn thing. I ran my torch positioning. I ran it too close to that edge, so I figured out the width of my puddle, but I moved up a little bit too far, allowing that puddle to kind of eat away that edge. So the rest of it, I was a little bit further down, cheating it on the pipe. Yeah. And you don't weld every day anymore, and you forget things. I don't weld every day anymore. I do other things. I do some things. But yeah, when I come home on the weekends, this is really my my fabrication time. My me time. Wow, that did not... That is some thick pipe, man. She's a little warm down here at the base, but I was expecting this thing to be extraordinarily hot. We're gonna give that maybe 10 minutes, cool off, let the welder cool off for a minute, the TIG torch. We'll weld up this other side, and I think we're ready to get back in the boat. I think we got some grinding to do in there to get this to fit. I kind of want to bolt this in, or at least get it mocked up in there, where I want it to be, so that I have a good idea of where the floor is going, where my bulkhead is going, what I need to grind, what I can leave. You know, just, there's a lot of what ifs right now. I didn't draw any of this out. I'm just kind of winging it, so, which is fine. There's people that wing things, and then there's people that have to have a full detailed plan to know what's going on. That's fine. I've just been lucky enough to do both. I've been given ideas out of just someone's head. Hey, can you build this? Yeah, I can totally build that. I've had engineers walk up to me with a full blueprint, drawing, everything that needs to be machined, weld callouts, all that crap. Can you build this? Yeah, I can. So just because you particularly have a job right now where you get all blueprints and drawings and everything is thought out, that's great. Good for you. There's guys in lots of fab shops that are just giving ideas out of the owner's mind, out of someone's mind, and they're able to see it in their own mind and create it. That's awesome. This all came out of my, what I'm going to call a brain. I wouldn't call it that all the way, but my brain's a little messy. You can get a good look at everything right now. It's a mess. Some people drives us insane. Me, at the end of the day, or when I'm done with a project, I'll clean up. And I'm far from done. I have wood over there. I have headers. I have all kinds of stuff that I want to do. Alright, done rambling. I'll be back. And we're back. Oh yeah. Let's get some more welding in. Gas is on, welder's on, 160 amps. We got a clean tungsten. We got a nice clean tungsten. Let's get this last little bit welded. Then we have some grinding to do in the boat to remove some old fiberglass where the old bulkhead was, so that this can drop in. And then we'll put maybe 2 or 3 mock-up bolts in this thing. Actually screw it into the stringers of the boat. We can get a good hard look at our accomplishments for the day, and then my work weekend is over. Then it's back to life, back to real life, making money, paying bills. And then we'll pick back up next weekend with probably more crazy ideas, because, well, I'm really good at making ideas. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, it's the start of another week. Well, weekend for me. So, back to working on the boat. It was really windy here the last 2 weeks. So, I have not been out here. I also had a pretty awesome case of pneumonia. So, yeah, I haven't been out here much. Haven't touched anything really. Oh, let's undo this cover. Ski pole. Damn, look at those welds. Fucking shitty. So I'm gonna get this thing unbolted and then try and clean it really well. I bought some paint for the exterior. Okay. So I need to get some of the shit out of here. Acetone is empty. Probably should have got some more. Yeah, it's pretty oily in there. We got to get some of that out. I wonder how well Scotch tape holds in acetone. I might just pour it in there and give it a shake. Probably be best to clean off that surface first and give the tape the best chance possible. That was a lot of acetone. Ugh. I don't know if I've already talked about this spray bottle, but it's a great idea. And when I first bought it, it worked perfectly. It didn't leak or anything. And now I maybe might have dropped it once or twice. And it leaks a little bit now.
Getting sprung, we used to tall thread, put a slit in it, throw some sandpaper in it, other end goes on a drill, and you have a ghetto hone. Perfect. I don't know if my drill chuck, it should fit that. See if we got a boop when it comes out of there. A little boop boop. It was clean enough a while ago to paint, but that was just me being weird. Did I think this through? Not really. I'm gonna send it. Got some Rust-Oleums. Mix her up. You guys are watching my titties jiggle. I'll probably have to edit this out. Throw some music over it so you didn't hear that I just said that. Okay. Open her up. I'm gonna make a mess. Yeah, I can see it already. Did I put any paper down on the floor? No. Should I probably do that? Yes. Am I going to do that? Highly unlikely. Get a paint stick out of here. Should have bought one of those like paint can funnels or a 3D printed one. Ooh, or an old turkey baster. Let me go see what I can find to make this somewhat cleaner. Oh, perfect. This is why I do this shit. Funnel. 99-cent store. Do I ever use it for putting oil in the car, truck, boat? No. Why do I buy them? In case I need them for shit like this. And it doesn't hurt my feelings throwing it away because it came from the Dollar Tree. I just need to make sure all the oil's out of it. Or whatever I use it for last is out. Actually, this was a dog chew toy. I don't think this one's ever been used. Probably just been sitting underneath all the other funnels with oil dripping on them. Yeah. We'll go with that. Boom. Holy smokes. Let's pour a little bit of paint in there. Kind of a lot. Let's set this down. Just keep spinning it for a little while. Just a mess everywhere. Let's just scoop that down. Haven't got it drop on the floor yet though. Haven't got it drop on the floor yet. If that means anything to anyone. I don't think you guys really give a shit. Except for my dad probably, because it's kind of his floor. So if you're watching, Dad, there is there's tape and preventative measures all over the floor of the shed so that I don't get it on your floor. And we're back. And we're back. Alright. We got this thing flipped over. Find my can of paint. And paint the rest of this thing up. It's honestly really thick paint, so I think like one good coat and it should be good. Alright, we let this thing dry overnight. There's a few little runs in here. It's completely covered. The inside looks great. It's all black. A little chunky. Yeah. Let's go get this thing bolted in. Let's get going on this floor. I have about, I want to say an hour, maybe 2, before it starts to rain. Let's see. Oh no, the rain got pushed back till tonight. So I have about 2 hours, 3 hours till sunset. So let's get moving. See how much we can get done. Let's get this ski pole bolted in temporarily. We're not gonna 5200 or final seal it in just yet because, well, I need to build a bulkhead, and I just need to know where it's supposed to go. I can mark all that out. And then we can either start working on the bulkhead, but I kind of want to start working on the floor at least. Get the rest of that cut out straight. Clean the edges up a little bit and start cutting the actual sheet that's going to go in here. It's going to start raining today through, I think, Tuesday, so I need to be able to have some sort of floor so I can get my poles set up to keep water out of here. So we need to get moving. Oh. Okay. Totally destroyed all the paint on that. Bad call. Somehow this thing kicked up. So I'll probably be grinding the top of those. Whatever. Yeah, just the tip. Okay. Now that you guys have stared at my ass crack for a while, let's get this cut, measure out what I need. Let's get some wood in here.